What's up, everyone? Blade here, and welcome back to another video of Persona 5X. Today's video, guys, we're going to be going ahead and doing a first day showcase, or more like a first day review of the man Junpei. Now, this is kind of interesting because this is one of the few characters that I have not paid too much attention to at all. I think the other character that I did this with was probably back at Summer Puppets or something like this. Why I genuinely did not see anything about the character too much. I've only heard bits and pieces, and we're gonna see for ourselves how this character does react. Now, currently, I haven't gotten them just yet. I will be having them most likely by the end of today. Trying to like cut back on certain spending, of course, right now because like your boy is still trying to go through my school, so I'm trying to make sure I have as much money as possible. So who knows? Things might slow down, might not. Just honestly depends. But right now, we're gonna go ahead and give this a little bit of a shot, see how he is here. I think they're mainly going to be testing him or having him with his 5-star weapon here, right? It looks like, yeah, it is his 5-star weapon. So obviously, we do know a few things about Junpei and how he does end up working. And the thing about him is he is a defender, but for his deal is he's more likely buffing rather than defending. So it's kind of in a weird position here. Also, I don't know what the heck is going on with all these weird little functions, but his main thing is going to revolve around this skill 3 here that he does have, and this is the one that they're trying to make you use, and that's because this here is more of a taunt. This is what he's meant to be built around here, and it is going to try to consist of this here, seeing that the taunt itself is then allowing you to boost up your, not only just that taunt that you have, meaning you're taking more damage, but you're now also able to take 40% more damage from your allies, which is perfectly fine, meaning he's able to take more of this. And then he's also giving everyone in the team a critical damage buff, which is pretty darn cool, especially when it does come down to our attackers and sweepers. We're able to see this here if we go ahead and press the skill 3 there, which we already did. And we're able to see he now has the taunt on, and this taunt is going to last for 2 turns, which is most likely this one right here. And then along with this here, we're able to see that he's giving off a critical damage bonus here. So the critical damage bonus should be everyone else, mainly this one here, where we're getting obviously the lovely critical damage bonus of 72%, which is perfectly good. Now, this is going to be based all the way on his max HP or Junpei's max HP, so it does jump up depending on what's happening here. So it is pretty darn nice to see that we're able to get some nice crit damage off as well. So everything else going pretty much normal. I think I could just possibly do this in a 2-turn fashion, I highly doubt they're gonna let us get all 3 turns. So I'm just gonna go ahead and proc off the skill 1, get some of those fire stacks on, of course, because I don't know why we have some of these personas here, but obviously I'm gonna check that out on my own time. And with everyone else, we're just kind of setting this up. So since we're using Mitsuru here, we can just go ahead and do our normal rotation, which is going to be the skill 2, getting that lovely permanent debuff here. And after we do the skill 2, we're going to go ahead and do our skill 1. Now, nothing crazy is going to happen with this. It's mainly just setting her up for a skill 3 type hits. This boss is resistance to freaking ice, which is expected. But now we can start seeing exactly some more things that we're getting out of Makoto. So on first turn, we do many buffs here. Obviously, can't get any too much damage here. But as we're seeing here, the boss is obviously way more taunted on him. And since he did hit and we got that little proc off here, we got a counter attack, which is another thing that Junpei does specialize on. Now, the thing about this counter attack, from what I do know, I'm pretty positive that he can only do this like every 2 rounds or so, maybe 3 rounds. I think it was every 2 rounds when he gets the stacks up, then he's able to do it again. But kind of interesting. Now they're going to have us use his 3G. Now his 3G is for 140 30 energy here. So it does cost a lot, but it does physical damage. It does ignore all affinities, and it also decreases the down points by 4. So Thean, this is 2. We should be able to get a down off of this if I'm right. And I think this is actually after knocking it. Yeah, so we get the down, obviously, which is going to be perfect, lining us up for an AOA, which is great. And then alongside of using that 3G, we're actually increasing our attack based on Junpei's HP. So we got critical damage up. We ended up getting some attack up here. And this is great because if we go ahead, and I wish they did not just bar me off, but we would click that magnifying glass and it'll show us here. But now they want us to use this skill 1. His skill 1 is called Blazing Strike. is one of his attack moves that you're going to use. Pretty much, it's always going to be a 331 rotation, and the character is decreasing the defense down on the enemy. So if we go ahead and check out the enemy here, obviously they're knocked. They got a bunch of debuffs on them. They got defense down, which is great for us. And obviously we're increasing our, oh, excuse me. Jesus, that had burp there. That was terrible. Yeah. But increasing our party's, damn, yeah, that hurt. Increasing our party's fire damage dealt by 15.6% here, which is great. And we should see some more of this mainly on our Makoto, where obviously we're getting that lovely buff that we need to have. So cool. Got a lot more damage that's going on. We're just going to go ahead and set this up the way that we want to. I think the best way to do this is going ahead and just popping this on off. We have the crit that we do need. And then on Mitsuru's turn, Mitsuru, as always, we're usually doing the same whole thing. So we already used our skill 2 and our skill 1. We're now going to go ahead and use our skill 3. And then we'll pop off our 3G, which is going to be very, very helpful for us. So get the little slash in and pop off the 3G right here. Boom. Nothing too crazy. Same old at this point. And then for Makoto, since we've already did our skill 1, we can do our skill 3, but I want to first this here, getting more of our damage in. And then we're going to go ahead and buff ourselves as well, the crit damage as well. So we're able to see some damage that we're getting off of just doing this, but obviously do this as well, get our little damage up, and then we can actually check our stats as well, which is pretty darn interesting. To be honest, for the amount of damage that we're getting out of this, it's kind of nice to see, because one, this is a team that does not require Yukari by the looks of it, but it is allowing us to do some crazy things here as well. So let's go ahead and get this extra buff. Make sure our Makoto is looking pretty darn good here. So tons of buffs. He's looking pretty dang good for crit rate, crit damage here. And let's use our skill 3, which should deal a ton of damage as well. But overall, Junpei is, in my honest opinion, I feel like he's more of a supporter rather than a defender. We don't get much of his shields that are shown, especially even in that showcase there, where we didn't get much for his shields. We didn't get much in that. We were mainly benefiting off of the debuffs that we were able to proc with the skill 1, while also being able to do some interesting things with the skill 3. Now, obviously, we didn't see anything about the skill 2. The skill 2 was not necessary, and it's one of the things that honestly, I don't think we need to do too much. I think the skill 2 is skippable. So if I'm right, I'm probably going to end up getting up this character's skill 3 and skill 1, and then the highlight, obviously, because that just helps. But overall, this character is more likely being a buffer. You're getting a lot of attack stats out of it. You're getting a lot of things for your like assassin characters, which is always great. How do I feel about him? As a pure tank, he's good at tank. He's a really good tank. I do have to say the taunt is really nice. He doesn't take much damage at all. And with the addition of him buffing you with the tanking, he's pretty darn good as well. But the character himself is in that kind of medium area, because without the fire team, he kind of loses his luster as a character, which is where I think is kind of a bad thing for the character himself. But hey, we only tried him out at A0 and R0. Of course, I'm going to be aiming for that on my account as usual. I think I am guaranteed as getting the character, so I should be able to get them anyways. The weapon's the only hard part. So we're going to try and complete all the events as much as possible. Thank you guys for the best wishes. I'm still sick as usual. You guys are probably hearing my stuffy nose. I'm trying my hardest to get through the video. And I didn't do a video on Raid, so I need to do that today. So I'm pumping out a lot of stuff, guys. This month was very lackluster for me, and I am kind of beating myself up about it because I ain't gonna lie, I slacked a lot this month. So hopefully we can make next month a better start to 2026. But I do apologize about this. The next time, everyone, y'all take care and peace out.